My name is Aaron Drummond. I am a folk artist that's a native of South Carolina. I incorporate a lot of low country color history into my work, including the sweetgrass basket weaving. And it's my goal to help document, preserve, and make sure that this culture doesn't become lost. I was inspired to create the exhibition High Society, Low Tide when Brook Green Gardens invited me to create artwork for the Juneteenth holiday. I want to not only celebrate the positive parts of emancipation, but also explore some of the low points, and that explains the low tide aspect of the series. High Society takes you to an imagined world where slavery did not exist, so it celebrates what would have been in a world where emancipation was not needed. Artwork is a very powerful tool that can be used to talk about subjects that are challenging to talk about, to look at parts of our history that a lot of us don't want to remember or don't want to have conversations about. So if my art can be the catalyst to start those conversations, then maybe it can also be used to help heal some of those wounds. Brook Green Gardens is the site of 4 former rice plantations. And the fact that my artwork incorporates sweetgrass baskets that were once used as tools to process rice brings this as a full 360 moment. When younger generations view my artwork, I want them to see resilience. I want them to see hope. I want them to see powerful individuals. I also want them to see themselves reflected in the art so that in the future they can become those powerful individuals themselves. Storytelling is a very powerful tool, and when used in the proper way, it can mend a lot of wounds. It can start conversations. It can allow people to see situations from different perspectives. And I think that can enable us to heal as a nation and grow as individuals. The work was really inspired by the Victorian era. During that time, you saw most of the elaborate ways that women would dress, or the opulence that was happening in our country because of all the wealth that was happening during that time. So I chose the Victorian era because of how much you see wealth displayed. I also am using this era to also show contrast, because during Reconstruction, after emancipation, you could notice the wealth disparity that was happening. So the low tide aspect of that series showcases that disparity by the simplicity and by the materials that are used. I'm choosing to paint in the low tide part of this series the figures almost the same color as the background. I'm using that as a way to symbolize that if we don't pay attention and document and preserve this culture, it will fade away into the background.